What's going on, guys? Apathetic here with all your tips, recommendations, and everything in between. And today, I'm going to show you what I think are the top 5 Warlock Exotics for Season of the Chosen. So I'll cover the exotics, how to use them, and the subclass and weapons that help you get the most out of these exotics in PvP. So if you're wondering what the best Warlock exotic for PvP is, then I got you covered. But before that, I also have a Discord for people looking to team up, discuss builds, or ask questions. So consider joining the Discord using the link below if you're looking to connect with some like-minded Destiny players. With that, let's get into it. Starting with our first exotic, we have Crown of Tempests with the exotic perk Conduction Tines. Arc ability kills increase the recharge rate of your arc abilities and extend the duration of Storm Trance. Originally, when I saw this exotic, I thought it would only be good with Top Tree Storm and the ability to use your Storm Trance to get your abilities back faster, but upon further usage, I found it's actually very good with Chaos Reach as well, which is very popular in Season of the Chosen. And so when you get those kills with your super, it actually gives you up to a third of your super energy back and basically refills all your other abilities. And what happens is when you get those super kills, you get conduction times up to ×3 for 6 seconds, and it gives you very nice recharge on your super, and like I said earlier, across all your abilities. But the nice thing is anytime you get any arc ability kill, whether that be your grenade or your melee, you're going to be getting that recharge rate on your abilities, and again including your super. So it already makes Chaos Reach a super that can be recharged very quickly, even shorter, especially when you combine it with those ionic traces. Next up, we have the Warlock Exotic Helmet Eye of Another World with the exotic perk Cerebral Uplink. Highlights priority targets and improves the regeneration and speed of your grenade, melee, and rift abilities. Now this exotic for me is one of the most underrated exotics for warlocks in PvP in the entire game, and if you haven't seen my previous video on this, I did a video where I basically broke down all the benefits of Eye of Another World, and on light subclasses it still is very good, but on stasis, where the ability cooldowns are longer, is where you're going to really see the benefit of this exotic, because when wearing this exotic, it essentially gives you 3 tiers higher stats than what you see. What this means, if I'm wearing Eye of Another World and I have tier 4 discipline, it's actually going to be tier 7, but as you go higher in your stats and invest in those stats, you're going to see diminishing returns. So what I recommend when running Eye of Another World, you want to put as much as you can in recovery and intellect, and then keep your discipline, melee, all that lower, and it's going to automatically increase that stat distribution by +3 tiers. So what this means is when you pair this with Shade Binder, it allows you to get that grenade and melee cooldown so much faster, and so you're gonna be able to proc those abilities much faster than I think was actually intended, because stasis, one of the ways they tried to balance it was by having those longer cooldowns, and Eye of Another World really helps us just completely erase that balancing tool that they used. Now, Eye of Another World you can use with light subclasses, but I don't recommend it because, again, you're going to see those diminishing returns. It really is the best when used with Shade Binder, especially the recent buffs to Shade Binder and Ice Flare Bolts. It definitely makes for a very potent combo. Mantle of Battle Harmony is up next with the exotic perk Absorption Cells. Takedowns with weapons that have a damage type matching your subclass element grant you super energy. While your super energy is full, you instead gain a temporary bonus to weapon damage of the type matching your subclass element. Now this exotic, guys, originally was not going to be on this list, but I decided to give it a try, and it's especially good this season when you pair it with something like a 120 hand cannon, either your bottom dollar or your Igneous Hammer in the energy slot. And so what this does is when you're getting those kills before you have your super, it's just going to help you get that super even faster, especially when you pair it with a higher intellect build. So one of the downsides of this is to get that benefit, you do have to kind of hold on to your super, which is why I love running this exotic with Top Tree Dawn, where I don't really enjoy the Top Tree Dawn super all that much, so I don't mind holding onto my super as long as I can Icarus dash around, float up in the air if I need to. But I love being able to constantly basically get a kill, trigger Absorption Cells, and have a pseudo rampage on my hand cannon and get those 2 taps, especially when you pair it with high energy fire, which is another way, and then also our empowering rift. So basically what you're creating is a way to 2-tap as much as humanly possible, so you don't have to no longer grind for like an Igneous Hammer with rampage. Now you can have an Igneous Hammer with some other perks on it, throw in this exotic, and this is giving you that basically that free rampage perk once you have your super full. So with Mantle of Battle Harmony, you definitely want to make sure you're running as high of intellect as possible, so that way you can get your super as quickly as possible, so we can start triggering Absorption Cells and start adding rampage to all our 120 hand cannons. So overall, guys, I would definitely recommend checking out this exotic. It recently got buffed to work in PvP, and I can think of so many different ways this exotic can be used with different energy weapons. It can be pretty toxic pretty quick, but I personally found the Igneous Hammer with Top Tree Dawn was one of my favorite loadouts to run with this exotic. In the number 2 spot, we have Ophidian Aspect with the exotic perk Cobra Totemic. Weapons ready and reload very quickly, melee range is extended. Ophidian Aspect is one of those Warlock exotics that once you put on, it's very hard to take off, especially when you combine it with 120 hand cannons that traditionally have much lower handling. Ophidian Aspects completely erase the downsides of 120s because it gives you that faster ADS speed, faster reload speed, and that faster swap out speed. And it also stacks with weapons that have quick draw. Don't think because your weapons have quick draw that you're not going to see a benefit from this exotic. The main person I would say this exotic is going to be a for is for people that really love the gunplay aspect of Destiny 2, which I know is kind of a meme, but with that being said, it's still going to make all your weapons feel that much better, and it's going to make your weapons feel that much more consistent. On top of, if you have a weapon with very poor reload speed, Ophidian Aspects can completely erase that. I absolutely love running a 120 hand cannon with a shotgun with this exotic because the swapping between the two just feels so quick and snappy, and I feel like my movement is that much more fluid in between gunfights. Also with Ophidian Aspects, you also get the benefit of just having the exotic on alone is going to increase your reload speed, but then you can put on a hand cannon reloading mod or any kind of reloading mod to further stack that reload speed, making your weapons reload incredibly fast. And the last great thing I'll say about Ophidian Aspects is you don't really have to run it with any specific subclass. You can honestly run it with anything that you choose, which is another reason this exotic ranks so high. And for our number one Warlock exotic, there should be no surprise here. It is Transversive Steps with the exotic perk Strange Protractor. Sprint speed increased. After a short time sprinting, your currently equipped weapon is automatically reloaded. Now, I absolutely love this exotic almost to a fault, where I basically crush this exotic because it single-handedly makes Warlock movement feel night and day different. A lot of people, when they switch to Warlock, they cannot stand the movement or how floaty you feel. This exotic makes the Warlock feel so much better and so much more agile in how fast you can get around the map. Especially when it comes to sliding in Destiny 2, a lot of higher skilled players slide all around the map, and so this exotic, because you're able to get that sprint speed faster, you're actually able to slide in and out of engagements faster, so it allows you to do a quick 180 and slide away if you need to. When you switch away from this exotic, you'll notice you'll find yourself short stopping or basically trying to slide, but then you can't, and it's because you're not able to get into that sprint speed as quick when you're not wearing this exotic. Stacking on top of that, then you also have the ability to basically reload your weapons as you're sprinting around. This is especially great for shotgun users who are running around from fight to fight, as you're going to reload in between sprinting between opponents. Also, this also pairs very well for sniper players because it allows you additional speed to get around the map a lot quicker, especially on Top Tree Dawnblade, or dodge away very quickly basically across the map when trying to get out of bad scenarios with your sniper. So I would say use caution when choosing this exotic, guys. It's very hard to take off once you put it on, but it's in the top spot for a reason. All your top Warlock players swear by this exotic with the ability to close the gap or create a gap between your opponents and reload your weapons all at the same time. Movement in Destiny 2 is just so good, and when you have an exotic that makes it feel even better, it's almost a no-brainer. But let me know in the comments down below, what is your guys' favorite Warlock exotic this season? With that, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, as they're all free ways to support me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.